and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support. And just sending love and light towards your way. You know, we all need that a time or two. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming towards your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And also, if you are comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards the positive direction. Also, if you feel like the videos are uplifting to you, give you good vibes, or just good information you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, please go ahead and share, especially an empath that are going through trying times and need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes. Please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. And thank you once again for the love and support. It's so greatly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And today, the meditation music I'm using in the background is 8 hours of deep sleep, meditation music, positive energy, relaxed mind, body, and healing the music and healing music. And I will post that link in the description box below. And today my video is Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, you know that you wouldn't be going through certain trials if you could not handle it. A lot of times we get frustrated and depressed or just feel like we just want to give up when we go through those major storms. But we don't realize the storms that we're being placed in is going to benefit us on so many different levels. Because a lot of times when I used to look at my situation and try to understand why I was going through it, allowed me to recognize things that were always in me. There's times I still go through it at times where I get frustrated. I'm like, why does it have to be so hard? But you have to understand, if it wasn't hard, do you think you would ever learn anything? You wouldn't. If things weren't so tremendous in your life or treacherous or whatever you want to call it, you wouldn't be able to see the benefits of the things you went through. It allows you to become stronger, allows you to learn yourself more on different levels, on things you weren't even aware of. A lot of times it's a beautiful blessing. Like when I go on one-on-ones with people and they're trying to find their place, they're trying to understand their path as they know it, and trying to understand where is it guiding them to, what is it, what is the universe trying to teach them, while they're trying to teach me as well. Because there's a lot of times when we can sit up here and connect with different people on so many different levels, and the questions that you're needing about yourself end up being answered just by the people that you're connecting with. It's allowing you to see things from a different perspective, looking from the outside in, because it could be somebody who's, basically toiling around with the same things that you're wondering about as they are too. A lot of times people tell me, Roslynn, I want to be able to explain to you, but I just don't know how to come up with the words. I say, you'll be amazed at the things that comes to me. And I'm like, oh, I know that, because it's just a lot of times there's a lot of things that goes on in our heads, and we feel like, is there people out here that can really, be on the same level as me? Is there people that can understand me? I try to explain certain situations with people and they think something's wrong with me. All these people, but you have to understand, if they're not spiritually awakened and they're still in that 3D realm, there's no way in hell they're going to be able to understand the things that you're talking about. They're going to be looking at you, are you okay? Do you need to take a break? Or do you need to go off somewhere? Do you need to go to a retreat or go to a spa? Like a spa sound pretty good, but they won't understand the things that you are experiencing at that time. But that's allowing yourself, when things happen to us and people drop the face of the earth out of our lives, it can be very, you know, hurtful. You feel like you're neglected, you're being abandoned. It's like these people, I've been there above and beyond for them, and all of a sudden when all these things were, going on for me and I needed them most, they disappeared. I had people like that I never thought that was going to abandon me did. People that I loved and cared for didn't think that they were going to turn their back on me and stab me in the back at the same time. But then I could see it was a blessing in disguise. And a lot of times, like, shoot, how am I seeing this a blessing in disguise? You never know. That person, whatever you're bringing forth to the table that you're about to shine light on that's going to benefit you, they might not have wanted that for you and may have been blocking you from it. So a lot of times there's people that got it, and and universe is turning our circle around for, when your circle changes, you shouldn't stress about that, because there will be a lot of people that are going to gravitate towards you. They can be able to understand the things you're going through because they're going through it as well. A lot of times we feel like, oh, we can't do this, or I can't do this. I can't, I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's so hard. It's so difficult. It's just getting me all of my emotions. Yes, we're going to do things. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to be it is frustrating when you're doing things different. Just like I was saying in the last video, when you're doing things that are spontaneous, adventurous, that's going to probably bring you happiness or joy or even love into your life, that because the things you just did on a whim, then you allow yourself to see the bigger picture of why this had to happen. Why did these things have to transpire? Because it's just like with mine, I just wonder at times why I had to go through certain things, but then I'm seeing the benefits of how I'm being able to help people, or I'm bringing shedding light that you're not alone, you're not going crazy. This is a new life that will benefit you on so many levels, on so many different directions. You'll be happy after everything is said and done. You'll be glad you didn't give up. Allowed yourself to be able to have that confidence in yourself that you can overcome pretty much anything. Because there's a lot of things you have went through that you really felt that you never would get healing from, and you eventually did. It took time. It allowed yourself to see things for what it was. When we go through breakups, like, oh my God, I don't know if I can live without her, or I can't live without him, this and this and that. How would my life go without this person? And by that time, when you found yourself that, you're better off without that person, you can allow yourself to wish them well, but you can do it from a distance. There's a lot of people in my life that have done some really conniving things to me, but I don't wish hatred on them. And it took me a long time to not be able to do that. But then, when you can still have animosity towards somebody who has done something to you 5 or 10 years ago. People used to laugh at me like, Roslynn, somebody could be dead in their daggone grave and you'll still be mad. Yep. But now that's allowing myself to lose focus on what's important. When you put your focus and your energy on staying mad at somebody, that's the wrong type of energy, because you're allowing yourself to take away from the energy you could be placing in something that is therapeutic, that is positive, that's going to bring joy to your life, blessings to your life. Because when you're concentrating and being vengeful and being hateful and towards other people, it's not you're blocking your blessings doing that. And I'm just like, how am I blocking my blessings when I took these people out of my life? But you're not allowing yourself to see, not everybody has the same heart as you. Not everybody has that mentality as you. Like I've said before many times, a lot of people haven't went down the path of life learned lessons they had to go through yet. A lot of times them separating from your life could start turning out for their spiritual awakening. A lot of things, we go through that awakens that spirit. It's sometimes traumatizing because it has to, get your attention some kind of way for you to start looking at things different, seeing that there's more than what meets the eye. There's a world far out more that you haven't even explored yet. But it takes that time for you to go through trauma. It takes you to go through betrayal. It takes you to be going through things and finding out it was totally different than what it was presented out to be. And a lot of times, yes, that is painful to go through it, but then you have to really be sitting with oneself and see what that situation was trying to teach you. Why is it like that the way it is? Are you willing to take that time to pay attention to see what universe is wanting you to know? Are you going to take that time to open yourself up to learn more different things about yourself as well as the surroundings that you're in, you know, for you to be able to get that, to the next level. A lot of things are like that. And sometimes it can be crazy because you don't want to go through those things. And everything that you have gone through has benefited. I hated, I hated God and universe for a long time for taking my mom away from me, because there was so many times that, me and my adopted mom did not have the world's best relationship. It was like oil and water. And then when she found out she was dying, she didn't want to spend her last moments being in a negative, in a negative balance. She didn't want that. So she lived everything up. She lived it to her fullest because she never knew that day could be her last day. So all of a sudden, all these things happen. I'm like, Mom, are you dying? Because all of a sudden you don't flip the script on me. You're so nice, and you're being a mom, and I'm trying to be the daughter you always wanted. And then next thing you know, my mom got sick and died. And it was just like, I had to see my mom deteriorate. I had to see my mom go through some things that I would not wish on my worst enemy. And it took me a long time to understand that even though my mom had passed and she was going through her transition and I was there for almost every moment, I wasn't there at the very end. I don't know what would have happened if I was there at the very end to see her take her last breath, but it was just for the things that I did have to endure, put me in a very, you know, uh, life altering state that really traumatized me for a long time. And then when it took that time to heal, I understood that that was for my benefit and hers. It was like for her to have to go through that. You never want to live your life with regrets on the things you should have said or the things you should have did or the way you should have loved somebody. At least it went out where it was comforting. Even though it was like a lot of things my mom had to suffer for, it was like allowing me to be able to see. I thought I was going through a stigmata. I was going back and forth to the doctor because everything that my mom was going through, I was feeling it. And I was trying to figure out how was I able to feel this when she wasn't my blood mother in the first place. But I guess it's just our connection was so strong at that time. It allowed me to feel the things she was going through and all that. And then I allowed myself, I had to apologize to the universe and apologize to God for having this hatred towards him, as well as forgiving myself. And I said, all you were was trying to make that ending a better ending so it can start off as a beautiful beginning, because my mom is one of my spirit guides. My mom was, she was like, I appreciate everything you did for me. My mom knew I had that, the sixth sense where I'm able to talk to the dead and stuff like that. So she was able to communicate with me for a long time after her passing. So it was just like I can really see that all the beautiful things God was trying to allow me to experience before he called her home. So I'm very grateful for those things. I'm allowed to say that, I apologize to the things that I put my mom through, and, being able to see the things that she went through, it had a bigger impact on her than I thought it was. She allowed me to know things, a little bit to a certain way, but, all the things that she had went through, I can be able to say, I'm glad I had those good moments with her for those, 2.5, 3 months. So, everything that happens in your life can be very traumatizing, but when you allow yourself to really see focus and see the bigger picture and step out, that allowed you to heal. Because I mean, there's days when my mom's birthday comes up or there are certain things that I'm struggling with. I think about my mom and I start crying, but then all of a sudden I hear my mom, and she's allowing me to know, hey, you're not alone. We're working in your favor. We're here. We're supporting you, because you have to allow yourself to know things are not always what they seem. Allow yourself to see things from a brighter light, a bigger, foundation, to be able to know this, even though it might be detrimental to you as you feel it because you're the one going through it. But it's also allowing you to see the strength within yourself, seeing yourself at a vulnerable point, but allowing yourself to know this too shall pass. These things are going to be able to uplift you. These are the things that's going to give you power. These are the things that are going to give you strength. Yes, it might be sad right now. It might be depressing. I'm trying so hard not to cry. But, you go through different things and you have to experience them. But then you're allowing yourself to know that that strength was always there. These situations aren't going to last that long, but you had to be able to appreciate that storm while it rained. So when the sunshine come out, you'll be able to be grateful for those, because you've been in that storm for so long. You've been in that darkness for so long. And it's allowing you to know that you can reap that benefit. You deserve those well rewards because you went through this and you never gave up on yourself. You never gave up on your life. And I know at times that's hard to do, and I'm feeling a lot of people right now, as well as myself. We go through a lot of traumatizing things where we have to experience, and it can get uncomfortable. But know, when all these things are done and it's said and over with, you're going to be able to say, I'm glad I never gave up. I'm glad I never regretted the things that I went through, because it allowed me to see the strength in me when I felt like I didn't have any strength left. At times you get tired of fighting, when you just say you don't have that energy to fight anymore. But it's allowing you to know you're not alone. You're not fighting these battles by yourself. Face them with all the courage you have, and knowing you're going to benefit from this when when the curtain closes. You're stepping foot in front of life. You're facing fears, the things that you probably ran from, the things that didn't make sense to you, but it scared you at times. When you're allowing yourself to face your fears in the most vulnerable times, not allowing yourself to worry about what other people think, how they feel, because this is your journey. These are the things that you have to go through, and knowing you can pass with flying colors. There's a lot of times I don't really understand the things that I'm going through, why certain things are being presented to me the way they are. At times it gets hard, and I just want to throw in the towel. I cry because I feel like I'm alone on the physical plane. I know I'm not alone on the spiritual one, but it's just like, even though I have people that are supportive, I'm the one who has to go through all these things. I've seen things that, I really didn't want to see, but I'm grateful because the things I've experienced would have sent anybody else to, the loony bin, losing your mind to try to find it, being able to break yourself down in so many ways, but put it back together the way you want your structure, being able to lay out that solid foundation, to know that, better days are coming to you. Just have to be patient. Yeah, there's things that you go through can be very painful. I experienced a lot of things that, I never want to experience again, or, allow anybody else to get, to even experience it. That's why I love doing my videos, because I knew what it felt like not to have somebody to turn to, and even though there's people out there that knew me, that knew the things I was going through, they didn't want me to realize what I was going through. And it's okay. Some people are still fighting with their demons. That's nothing personal against me. It's something that they're dealing with on their personal level that just so happen to project towards me. That's us as Heyokas. We do that, and it's just like, it took a lot of courage for me to sit up here and make videos and open up and say who my father is, regardless of who believed it or not. These are the certain situations I had to experience. There's a lot of times, where I have not received closure because my dad is everywhere. But then I feel like I'm blessed as well, because I get to go back and see the different things that my dad did, see the, organizations he's placed himself in, seeing the people he helped, on the down low, that he didn't want people, he was always that type of person that helped people, but he didn't need the cameras and, newspapers to know everything he's did. But there was people that came forth and said, Prince has helped me. Prince has done these things when my family was going through this. And, he was always that giving person. But there's also people that are saying my dad abused them and they did this and this and that. So there's, good things is being projected out as well as bad. I look at my dad and I'm proud of him no matter what is being said about him. He never projected that out to me. Even when I didn't know who he was, I know he had to be family to me because the way my feelings were and the way he expressed things and the vibes he was giving out. That was a lot of things that, I had to deal with, and there's times, I cried sitting up here, and I was angry. Like, all these times my dad has been there and I never got to be able to connect with him. And that was the worst feeling in the world. I always tell my children, my kids like, Mom, we know who our mom is. We know who our dad is. And they said, I could not even imagine the pain you're feeling right now, because your life was altered to somebody else's insecurities, and then you had to find out in the worst possible way. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And that allows me to heal each and every day. And I tell myself, it will get better. You will find out things. You will be able to connect to your family. You'll be able to see things in a different way. Not everything is what it seems. The pain will be over one day. Just don't give up. There are so many days I have to constantly tell myself that, because it's like when you lose a family member, it's really hard. But when you lose a family member that's in the public eye, and you don't really get closure, but it's just the love that people have for him. The music that they say that has brought them peace. It is very uplifting to me. It gives me peace. It gives me comfort to know that he's loved by a lot of people. You know, knowing who he was to me. When you see him on TV and the way he he would talk to me, it would be totally different. That's why I wasn't able to pick up on certain things. But I knew if when I would see him in interviews, how he would get uncomfortable if people asked certain things, but he was being brave enough to answer them the best way he knew how without really giving things out. He was a very private person. So a lot of things, it wasn't connecting with me, but then it was just like I would know if he was trying to hide something, or I know he wasn't being truthful about certain things, or I see that he tried to focus on something else so he wouldn't make his body language change. But at times, automatic reaction, like he's human, it would change, and I knew it made him uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things that I had to deal with that was really hard. A lot of people didn't like the fact that they knew I was related to him. A lot of people was, fascinated by the fact that I was. And they sent me love that way. But there's a lot of things people have to deal with all the time. It never made me feel like I was better than anybody. This situation has humbled me to on so many different levels, and being able to appreciate who I am and being comfortable in my own skin, it took a lot to do. There's times where when I was going through my struggle and dealing with a lot of things, I could look at myself in the mirror and I would be ready to punch it, because the fact is, people acted different when they found out who I was, or they punished me because I looked like him, or there are certain things that I would do, it was like him. And I used to hate that. I'm just like, maybe if I act different, maybe if I change the way I look or way I act, people would love me, but it was all about me loving myself. That was so hard to do, because it was like I was always being punished because of who I emulated, and that was a painful situation, because it's like, my adopted father never wanted to be around me because I looked like him too much. And I got punished for that many a times. Anything I wanted to sing or play the piano, I got punished for it, because they said, you will never be like that man. You will never be like him. It was a lot of things that I had to go through that I'm still healing from. I'm not mad at them, because that was things that they were insecure about. There was things that they were still toying with when it came to their childhood. So they expressed it and put that situation out on me. And I just pray for them. I'm not mad or anything like that around with anybody. There's things that people are dealing with. So it's just like, when you know that you're going through trying situations, allow yourself to be able to feel your strength and know your strength is going to really take you places, knowing that that storm is going to be your blessing in disguise after everything is said and done. So I'm going to end on this note, because I'm starting to get really emotional. So I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to try to do another video. I might not. I don't know. But much love to y'all. Drop a line, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Share, give me a thumbs up. Know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always someone out there praying for your better days. And if you're going through some trials and tribulations or some storms, know it's not going to always be that way. And better days are coming for you. And I will see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace and be well.